Here we go, here we go. 30 base.
Walk to before. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Hey,
what's that?
General West.
Mike 54.
Go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Complete. Smith has it. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Oh, that Q stuff. Oh, that Q stuff. That ain't working. That Q stuff ain't working.
And 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's second and 7 now from the 28.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Check. Lucky.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Mike 54. Mike 55.
They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Dolphin football. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45.
Check 43.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Set. 10-2 start.
Mike 54. I got you.
2nd and 14. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Go. Ready.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
47.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Now, keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first-quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them out.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Timmy Jernigan coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
Ready, ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Looking deep for Adams. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Hey, wahoo!
Right there, 54, right there, right
Let's
there.
go!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
They're going to look to throw. It's complete to Graham. That one good for 24 yards.
That's good for a Dolphins first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run it with Balaj. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Go!
Check, Mike.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it.
Intercepted by the Saints. His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Ready?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
We're scoreless after 1. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. He gets this to Devontae Adams. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Complete to Devontae Adams. A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Saints.
Here we go. Set. 10 Lobo.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
Come on,
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Breanne Bonnie Calhoun. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski, and that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come.
61, matchbox light.
They'll run here with Balaj. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Set.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's third down.
Let's go. 18 Gator.
Check right. Kill.
Protein spill. Hey, high 7.
55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Lee Griffin.
He'll look to throw. The open man is Smith. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Complete to Tre'Quan Smith. A gain of 11 on the
Ready?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Hey, Foxtrot.
You get what, me?
Get it ready.
They'll set up to throw. He's got Smith here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL.
Now.
Big edge.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Right there. 54, right there. 54 Mike.
Smoke.
Watch the slant.
Pilot, 64, weak.
54.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Let's go.
But he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll look to throw here on first down. It's caught here by Adams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Watch the run.
Hey, Echo.
55 Mike, 55. Pick me up. Here we go.
Yo, Jackrabbit, come on. Shoot.
He'll drop to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down.
What you got, Heavy? Give me something. Here we go. Hey, check Mike 33.
Look, squeeze.
Hey, what's your man?
No. Now go.
Back to throw here. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. He was looking for Parker that time.
So first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Balaj. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Hey, Zoo.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. Watch this.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Watch out for Hill on the return. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over. With a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First down, and it's Hill again. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, it's Hill. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense.
80 weapons. Hey, Charlie.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. 3 bud.
Back to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jerome Baker in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Sam off.
2nd and 5. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
You're out.
Now Balaj takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Bought him a little extra space. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll drop the throw. Wide open receiver complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
On first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
Set up, 30 base. I got you. Hey, Haywood.
Hey. We got three. Three down. 47 Mike.
Ready?
They'll look to throw here. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line.
That's good for Dolphins. First down. First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Come on,
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Here I come. Hey, check Mike 47.
Go. Let's go now.
2nd and long. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. Parker, the intended target. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
One play has him to the 37 here for first and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip.
2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Looking long for Thomas. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
First down, Saints.
Ready, break.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
Rock it. Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Chopper!
Alert flare.
Yeah.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerome Baker has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going.
Hey, high 7. 2.
Now back to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Hey, come on now. Mike, 54.
He's back to throw. And Adams has it complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Davante Adams with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock, so nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Saints. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, check. Check 26, check 26. 6-6, pull it high. Go.
Banjo. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Pick it up.
Going again on the ground here with Hill. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Break. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Drop deep.
On third down, it's Hill. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down.
Come on now, let's go.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
On the ready.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every day.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on third down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. They'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Ready, set.
Mike 54. Hey, watch the slant.
Now.
The Saints in victory formation now as